Welcome, everybody. Jesse Dale here, and I'm super excited to be talking to Tommy and Dianne McCollister. They are nutrition coaches, owners of Real Presence Fit. And I just kind of want to give you guys the opportunity to get to know them, why they exist, the type of people that they're helping, and just learn a little bit more about their hearts. And appreciate you letting them into your home or wherever you're listening right now. So Tommy, Dianne, how you guys doing? Appreciate you joining up with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're doing great. Yeah, thank you.
So tell me about Real Presence Fit. Like when you guys launched this, or what kind of your mission is or purpose?
Technically, I've been doing it for multiple years, but we technically did a big launch where Dianne joined in with us back in mid-August. It's kind of a longer story, but we moved and we decided to go all in on this business because it's a big passion of ours. And like I said, I've been doing it for years, and then so she just decided to join with us. So yeah, that's when we've been doing it for about since August.
So what drove you in like kind of like the health, fitness, and nutrition realm? Like why does that kind of weigh heavy on your guys' hearts to help people in that realm?
I started having a passion for nutrition probably about 6 years ago when I was going through health issues of my own that were food related, and through trial and error and being my own advocate, grew to love it and wanted to be able to help others with similar situations.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you have to be like your own advocate, and that's why there's such a need for good nutrition coaches, is because people they're told one thing and then told to something else, and yeah, I think that it drives a lot of meaning behind our profession because people are just confused out there, you know.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Very cool. So what are some things that kind of like, if I'm your client, what are some things that I would expect from Real Presence Fit and having you guys in my corner and linked arms with me as a coach?
Honestly, we first and foremost, we have like a 3-phase approach to it. We heavily rely on building a personal relationship with somebody. So mental is just as important to us as the fitness and the nutrition, because we believe that synergistically they all go together. So if your mental is not there, you're not going to want to eat good or do the workouts. But at the same time, the nutrition is kind of what helps build that mental too, gets you feeling good, have your gut microbiomes off, then you're not going to be having all the serotonin and all the things in your brain. So we really have a 3-phase approach we like to do with people. We like to really, like I said, build a personal relationship and go hand in hand with people. We're just not like, hey, here's a plan, check back in with us in a couple of weeks and we'll send you an email. We really like to give people direct access to us because we know accountability is everything. Anybody can go online and find a plan for free, right? But 99.9% people aren't going to follow through because they didn't invest into it, or be there and have a million questions and not be able to follow through.
Yeah, I love what you were just saying. The accountability piece is so missed nowadays. You know what I mean? And I think that we're communicating at such an all-time high as a people, but we're connecting at such an all-time low. So when you guys say that, hey, we want to build the mental, we want to build the personal relationship first, I think that's the missing link between a lot of nutritional intervention strategies that aren't working for people. Is they're too systemized, and you can't systemize. If you're my coach, you can't systemize my life. You know what I mean? I might be at the concession stand tomorrow and then out eating grandma's pie the next week, and there's holidays and all of that. So and it's very tough to have a one-size-fits-all approach to that. So that's really, really cool. And then the other thing you guys said as far as like the holistic, they all really do run together, and that's why we named our company Macro Millionaires. We want people to be abundant in all realms of their life. So
yeah. Definitely a package.
Yeah, very, very cool. So did you guys kind of have, I know Dianne, you kind of mentioned that you had gone through some nutrition things like earlier on. Was that kind of a big thing that motivated you to help other people and kind of put yourselves out there?
Yeah, for me personally, most definitely, because a lot of people struggle with similar situations. And if I can help them in any way after everything that I went through, I just became so knowledgeable of that stuff just by doing my own research and nutrition for so many years.
Yeah, we just did a course on emotional eating that you guys were at, and yeah, it's crazy, especially in this year where people, like I mentioned, are really, really not as connected as they would like to be, and that the hormonal ramifications of that, people are just beginning now to understand, like the effects on our oxytocin and all of those things from that lack of connection. So that's cool. That I find that a lot of the best coaches are the ones that they've had a profound experience themselves in the nutrition counseling realm, and they're just so passionate about like sharing it with other people.
Yeah.
So cool. So would you guys have like an ideal client that you work with, or did you work with like general populations, or what would be kind of like who you would like to reach out to? I know you guys want to help as many people as you can, but is there any specific type of person that you feel more geared for?
Yes, I mean, at first when we started, we were just kind of taking on anybody and everybody, which was great. But it kind of over the past, I would say month, it's really kind of dialed down to where we kind of found a niche that we prefer working with. Because as we said, we like building the mental aspect of it. And we find that so many business professionals, CEOs, realtors, people like that who are very successful in one area of life are just so focused and driven on that, they let everything else go. They don't have time to do the nutrition, the working out, or the time to spend with their family or their kids. They're so overexerted. And we really like to come in and help them find the balance in all that and bring it back again to the three-phase part of I was telling you about within the mental nutrition and fitness part of it. So we've just really found that those are the type of clients that we really like to work with, that already have that motivation, but just really need somebody to come in and step in and just say, hey, I think you need to take a look at this or dial this down over here. And that will ultimately affect your business in an even more positive way. So
Yeah, I love what you're saying there, because my sister's an attorney, and she's always, I wouldn't say struggled with their weight, but struggled a little bit, in that realm. And I mean, she'll be working like 13, 14 hours a day on a Sunday. You know what I mean? So very, very driven young lady, but from a nutrition, someone like her, she's using all of her brain RAM in that. So she needed like something very, very easy, very simple. They have the kids, so it couldn't take a lot of meal prep time. So coaching her would be totally different than someone with maybe a lot more time on their hands. So, and I think those busy professionals, like you were saying, they tend to push themselves so hard that they probably need a coach in this realm the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And a lot of times your coaching there might just be reeling them back, helping them find that balance so they can win the war, as opposed to winning a battle after battle, but, winning the whole war. And sometimes rest and recovery are huge and pivotal in doing that.
Yeah, totally agree.
So what made you guys like kind of go all in as far as launching an online company? That's really scary for a lot of people to do, and Diane, I'm hearing kind of your story that, this was really important to you, that it's something that you were challenged with earlier on, and now it's something that you're passionate about getting out to the world. But there still had to have been some fear as far as being like, hey, we're not going to get into corporate America. We're just going to do this bad boy all online and change lives. How do you get over some of that fear?
I still have fear a little bit sometimes. He's my rock right here. He's the one that's been an entrepreneur for many years in the fitness and nutrition industry. So for me, I had to overcome a lot. I worked at the same job for 19 years. And when we came upon wanting to do this, I just decided to throw it all out and go for it. Sometimes you just have to take chances in life and go toward your passions.
Yeah, I love that. I always talk to my wife, to Erica, and I had a really awesome, safe job. I managed 9 health clubs, district manager. They took great care of me, and that job was safe until it was no longer safe because the company went bankrupt. They literally closed all 400 of their doors, and that's what kind of left me like I had no plan B. You know what I mean? And like I said, if they were open still, I might still be working there. Who knows? But I think that it's so important that people kind of dig their well before they're thirsty. And that's really what I love about whether it's nutrition coaching or whatever, network marketing or whatever. It allows you to kind of nurture this plan B so that if you are ever in the situation where now that your plan B becomes your plan A, you're kind of prepared.
No, I totally agree. I mean, especially in this, and in those other industries, you're basically told what you're going to make, But in this, if you got some bills coming up and you're struggling, maybe you need to take a look at yourself and realize, hey, I gotta get after it and really do more reach outs and really just present my passion to other people and see if I can make that happen. We're our own income resource, right? Like nobody's going to tell us how much we can and we can't make. So it's on us. So when tough times do come, we can totally, lace up our boots and get after it.
Yeah. 1000%. So how do people contact you? You know, if I'm watching this and I'm like, you know what, I am a busy professional. I think I want to see more about what these guys have going on. What is the best contact for you guys?
The best one would be either through email, through realpresencefit@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram at realpresencefit. Those are probably the two best ways to contact us and get after us. And we're always checking our emails and things like that. So we're in a timely manner to get back to people and see what works best.
Cool. So Tom, you were kind of saying it a little bit, and Dianne was kind of saying you've been more the entrepreneur for a little bit longer, where you were more in corporate America. What made you like bet on yourself instead of, you know, just doing the job thing? Like, what made you kind of just, hey, I'm going to work for me. I'm going to write my own check. I'm going to make my hours. You know, what was your driving force there?
I think I always had that personality that I wasn't the guy who wanted to go to college and have the house with the white picket fence. I was always going against the grain, doing my own thing. And I like to be, like I said, you know, beat my own drum, or whatever they say. And so I did work the regular job till up about 8 years ago. And then I quit, went out on my own. And that was a huge growth period, but it was the best growth period for me because it ultimately kept honing in and dialing in what was ultimately my passion, which I had been doing fitness personally for 12 years. And then I started slowly coaching more and more people. And then, so it's just always been my personality. And then, like I said, we fully launched together back in 3 months ago, because I had woke up so many mornings just saying, there's got to be more to life than this, than just waking up, doing the exact same thing every day. And I was like, when I'm 65 years old, is this going to be my life? Because I'm not cool with that. If that's what that is, I'm just not satisfied with what that's going to be. I go, this is a bleak looking life, even though I have an amazing wife and 2 kids. I go, that's just not what life's about. Like, aren't we supposed to live and feel abundant and all this? And so we made a huge move. We moved from 15 hours away from California, where she lived her whole life, to Nevada, and launched this business. So it's always just kind of been in my blood to be bold. But don't get me wrong, I know people like you, Jesse, are the same. We still have just the same fears as everybody else, but we recognize in the face of the fears where we grow the most.
Yeah, you're 1000% true. And if people could just adopt that and just, you know, quit putting bets on somebody else, you know, and just place the bet on themselves, you know, and then the cards land where the cards land. But I could see that fear as a big motivator. You know, I don't see fear as necessarily a bad thing. I mean, when I was laid out, or not laid out, but when that company went bankrupt and I was forced to get like a huge loan from like a loan shark, the bank wouldn't touch me. I literally had to get a loan from like a loan shark. He broke legs, the whole 9 yards, you know, and I owed the dude 350 grand. I mean, and that's what got me up every day to sell memberships for my gym. You know what I mean? Is that fear of that this guy is going to break my legs if I don't pay him, you know? So that fear, I think, can be used to spur action. So I found that fear either paralyzes or it helps spur action, you know? And it sounds like, you know, during different growth phases with you, you allow that fear to spur action as opposed to like paralyze.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? So what would be the one piece of advice that you would give someone? Maybe someone's like, I'm thinking about doing, you know, hiring a coach for nutrition. I know I need to, holidays coming around, or, you know, birthdays coming around, or whatever. What would be the one piece of advice to get them to take action and on themselves and on their health?
I would say that, you know, we spend money on so many other things that just aren't really going to bring that much value. You know, we get a new watch and it's exciting at first, but that novelty wears off literally probably 3 days later. When when we've watched lives, countless lives now change, one person after the next, and the messages we get saying, thank you so much, this is literally life changing, and they're seeing all the things that they never thought possible, especially because we work with a lot of people more towards our age, 40 years old, who think that, well, life's over with at 40, it's downhill, we're over the hill, but she's so like far from the truth. But when they started investing in themselves and just overcoming that fear, they saw what was possible and now have a whole different outlook on life. It was like life. It's almost like seeing colorblind and now seeing in color, like, oh my God, like what, this is possible. So if anybody's got fear, just take that step. It's there's going to be some uncomfortableness and things like that. There's growing pains, but that's what a coach is for, right? We're not just throwing you to the wolves. We're going to help us and other great coaches that are going to just help hold your hand during this process and teach you and guide you and ultimately make you that much better of a person.
Yeah. I love it. You're 100% right. You get that new whatever, that Rolex or watch or Fitbit or whatever. You're right. You get like a little dopamine rush for maybe a day, 2 days, and then it just is a thing. But the joy that we get from growth is unbelievable. So when you're growing towards a healthier version of yourself, your brain is literally lit up each and every day.
Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
No, that's awesome. Well, I hugely appreciate you guys talking to me. I know that this interview is going to be a blessing to someone, because someone's out there watching and they're going to be like, you know what? My fear is paralyzing me right now. I'm not going to let it paralyze me anymore. I'm going to email Tommy and Dianne, and I'm going to get started on this journey, of this health-driven journey. So thank you for spending the time with me this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. And one last thing, we wouldn't be where we were at if it wasn't for your company either. So thank you so much. Man.